Okay, we are on our final notebook for the All About Me Documenting Course Stories. We are talking about the future notebook this time around. So, when we think about the future, we usually talk about goal setting, vision boards, those kinds of things. But I want you to go a little bit deeper. I want you to talk about that self-portrait. Talk about any new adventures that you want to do, any of your dreams. Talk about where you see yourself in 1, 5, 10 years. So it is kind of like goal setting, but it's really talking about those dreams. You don't have to do any planning. I just want you to dream a little bit. Like, what would you do if you had unlimited money? So I kind of started this again in the same way with a brain dump. So talking about what our health goals are, maybe talking about our legacy, like what do we want our children or other people to know about us? What would you do if you had unlimited money? What about a future house? So I've been watching some TikToks about, lists that you need to make for a future house, like absolutely dream and then not at all kind of lists. Like, I think that's something I'll probably put in this notebook, so I at least have it written down. We don't plan on moving at this point, but you never know. What about fears about the future? Is there anything that you're scared to do or see or whatever? What are you excited about? Those kinds of things. I'm personally excited about going to a retirement home because I know they've got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Which I know is probably ridiculous. And most people are like, oh, I really don't want to go to a retirement home. I'm actually excited about that when I retire. But anyway, let's talk about my design decisions for this notebook. So I grabbed another notebook that I have, and I did go ahead and wrap it just like I did the other ones. This time I'm using the Close to My Heart You Are Enough collection, and I felt like there just wasn't enough foil. So I've never really used this before. This is a cold foil technique from Sizzix. So the pieces that are a little bit more shiny are the ones that I added. And all I did is I used some double-sided adhesive, some tear and tape, and I was able to add some of this gold foil to it. So the bits that are extra shiny are the ones that I added. I felt like without those pieces, it was kind of like meh. And I wanted to be able to go from one corner to the other corner back, just so that my title is the main focus. So super easy to do. Just add some double-sided adhesive, lay this on top, kind of rub it out, and then you get the foil on there. So I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like in here. Excuse me. So what happens is the foil moves away from this bit. So that is pretty much what this is. It's really easy to use. This is the only material though that I've been able to use it on. So I thought I would be able to use Versamark because that's kind of sticky. It's kind of like a glue ink pad, but I'm not having any luck. If you guys know, and I also tried a Versamarker and that didn't work either. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I did try a brayer on it. On the back of this, it does say that I need to do 3D adhesive, which I do have some. I've just never used that either. So brand new techniques, just trying it out. This is a fun project. Now, the reason I picked this notebook is because I thought it was a good kind of contrast, or a good color palette here. It looked good together. This bit might end up coming out. I just don't, these colors don't match my outside. Like, that looks a lot better. So we'll see. Maybe I make a different one or something like that. But you can check out the video on how I did that. I'll list it in the upper right hand corner so you can take a look at how I made this. It was super easy, super fun, but I think I'm just going to remove it. And that is going to be my notebook. So let's talk about the inside cover. So as you know, I don't like this top cover. It always kind of frustrates me. So we're going to go ahead and use, again, some journaling cards, which I thought is perfect. I think this pink is going to look really good right here. So let me grab my corner rounder. Now remember, once you figure out the roundness of your corners, just write it down in the back of your journal, or write it down on a 4x3 card and stick it in your journal cover. That's what I did. I wrote it down in a 4x3 journal cover, so I know that my corners are all going to be R7mm. And that's just going to kind of land like that. I'm not going to worry about the background lines. I'm just kind of ignoring them. They're not going to line up because the width of the lines is different, and that's okay. I don't really care. So I'm using tear and tape because I am preparing for a crop and I have everything already packaged up. And one thing I do not take with me is my tear and tape. I would much rather take my ATG. So that is why I'm using some tear and tape. What other topics would you put in a future notebook? I also made this with a Cricut. Make your future count, so that people know which notebook is what. I think they're probably going to be most interested in the past notebook throughout this. They might be interested in the future notebook later down the road, you know. I don't expect anybody to read this but me for quite some time. But yeah, what other things would you put in your future notebook? List them down below. It would help other people get ideas on what you want to do. This notebook is probably going to be more like lists again. They tend to be a little bit easier when you're talking about future. You might add a little bit more depth to this journaling than you had in the past. So the lists in your current might just be kind of one words, but I encourage you to write just a little bit more in this book so that people have a better idea of who you are and what your aspirations are. I am going to go ahead and use this globe simply for the fact that the blue and the blue. I just want to bring this blue over to here. And that's a pretty good match. So I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Has anybody else worked in these traveler's notebooks? I am finding that I just want to branch out. So for example, I started a happy planner. And the reason I started it is because of YouTube, honestly, because I need a central place to map out exactly what I'm going to do during the month. And it helps me determine if I've uploaded the video, if I've got the video recorded, all those kinds of things. So if you're interested to see on how I use the Happy Planner, 1, to decorate it, 2, how I organize it for my YouTube channel and home life, let me know. I'd be happy to share with it. That is a new to me style of planning, but I've enjoyed it so far. It's kind of like my hyperfixations, right? Like when you start scrapbooking, you just want all of the things. Well, I've got all the things for scrapbooking. Now I'm like, oh, I want all the things for happy planners, and I really don't need it. But anyway, so there's that. And then I thought it would be fun to bring in one of these guys. So this would be kind of like my title. And they're missing a word. Always look on the bright side. That's funny. Okay. I was thinking make every moment, or chase your dreams. That's what I was looking at. That's the one. So that kind of talks about looking towards the future. And I've got a little thing here I thought might match. I kind of want some sprigs or something to go up and around there. Okay, here we go. Like this. Not the same color gold, that's okay. Maybe I do need a flower. Sorry, I know I have a habit of pushing things down so you can't see them. Because I'm looking at them and I don't even think about it. So this notebook is actually from Michael's, which I was kind of surprised. This looks like Maggie Holmes. So I was pleasantly surprised. Oh, I love this flower. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Let's see. It could go like this. I'm gonna bring some of that gold over, I think. So this will be good. Now, what I'm disappointed about that, because I haven't been able to use Versamark with that foil, which I thought I was going to be able to, I haven't been able to use my stamps and stuff. That's kind of why I bought it, because I was like, oh, I can totally use a stamp or something on there to make it a little bit more decorative. But I don't know, it's just not working, and I'm not sure why. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. Do I have any border strips on here? I do. Okay, hang on. Let's just double check that there's not something I would want. I could bring that teal down further. I love scallops. I don't know what it is about scallops, but I freaking love them. Okay, so if I go like this. And then I'm going to try to use my X-Acto knife to cut right here. There's perfect. And then I'm going to undo it just a smidge so that I can get this right up against it. There we go. Perfect. Yes, that looks so much better. Okay, so now, oh man, this super tricky part. Oh, yes! Beautiful. Okay, so can I use this anywhere else? Not really. Not really. So, good thing I saved this little extra bit. I wonder if I could cut these out and make them scallops. Because I just really like the scallop. I think that's cute. So that fixes the little bit that I thought was looking weird. So there we go. Don't forget to check out the next video. It is going to be actually using this notebook to document our future and some page ideas for that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.